of swag and a different demeanor. Always on the toes like a ballerina. I can hold you down like Martin and Gina. I can hold you down, just know how to treat her. Different type of swag and a different demeanor. Always on the toes like a ballerina. I can hold you down like Martin and Gina. I can hold you down, just know how to treat her. I can hold you down, I can put it down. I'ma take it down, face up in the ground. Please don't make a sound, yeah. We gotta be low-key, low-key. If she want you, she can roll me, roll me. Show her all just like a trophy, trophy. Time with all just ask my rolling, rolling.
Hi guys, today I'll be doing my sister's makeup. She's tired, so it's super hilarious. But this is a video on contouring requested by a friend. I hope you enjoy. Okay, so first we're just gonna outline the eyebrows. You have no eyebrows. Relax your face. I said you have no eyebrows. What do you mean? You don't have any. I do see. Oh, you don't. You cut all your eyebrows off. I stopped cutting my eyebrows so that they could go back. You smell like a pumpkin. Pumpkins don't actually smell like this. I don't like to smell the cinnamon either. That makes it even worse. So I have to create eyebrows for you. My sister is doing the absolute most right now, but I did tell you guys she was tired, so. So now we just take and clean up the eyebrows. For the sake of this video, this is just the natural look. This is how to create a natural beat with a natural contour and highlight. So guys, this is for people who have to create a brow, for people who don't have brows, or if you have to change the shape of a brow just for a certain look. This is an easy technique. You just draw the brow in and then shape it as need be, sculpt it out with a concealer. I need you to like relax and let me do what I'm doing and you stop looking at what I'm doing. Thanks. Relax your eyes. So guys, this is how you get your older sister to behave and cooperate with you even though she's super tired. This and threaten her behind the scenes and let her know she's gonna go out looking crazy if she doesn't cooperate. But yeah, back to the video.
So you're gonna have to quit it.
Edit. Can you comb your eyebrows while I'm doing this, please?
Trying to do what?
Relax your eyebrows.
I was relaxed. I was falling asleep till you dropped the drink.
Nah, but right now you just like alert. Okay, so now we just add a little bit of foundation to the face. Okay guys, so when I was doing this part of her makeup, I did use my small flat concealer brush instead of my foundation brush, which caused it to take a little bit longer than it should have. So for the sake of time, I just cut it out and I blended it off camera. There's two things I would recommend for darker skin tones. It would be this palette right here, the Saharan Blush Volume 1, or it would be the Plum color from MAC. Those would be the two things that I would recommend. So what you want to do is you want to take either the plum or the darker color, and you just want to start to blend it in and build a contour. The darker the skin tone, the Darker, you'll have to go for the contour, but if it doesn't work out that way to where you could find something darker, then what you ultimately want to do is worry about the highlighting and then cut it off with like a powder or something along those lines. So the darker contour kind of gives you the look of definition and make your face look a little bit thinner in certain areas. So to contour, what you want to do is take it here near the cheekbone. You want to take it near the cheekbone and you just want to keep to blend it in with the skin. This creates definition in your face and it allows it to look a little bit thinner, and it evens out your skin tone when your foundation looks flat. If it does look flat, depending on what you're using, it evens out your skin tone. And it also gives you a higher lifted cheekbone. So once you take it like this, you'll see what the difference is when we start to use the setting powder. And you want to do the same to the forehead. She has a rather large forehead, so you want to take and just minimize that a little bit, brush it into the hairline a little, depending on how your hair is. Get it into the hairline. And the darker it is, it minimizes certain areas and gives you a different shape, minimizes the areas that you don't want to be so noticeable, and it's, like I said, gives you a little definition in your face. Then you want to contour your nose. If you do want to contour your nose, you want to take it depending on the shape that you want. Personally, you would want to just take it along your shape if you don't want to be too dramatic. She has a cute little button nose, so you just want to take it along the shape and create it how you want it. So if you see, we created definition in the cheek, gave her higher cheekbones, made it a little less flat, and then what we did was also contour the nose. We'll blend everything in afterwards, but you just want to contour everything first and highlight everything to blend it in. So this is basically the gist of what you want to do. Just in case, we're going to recap. We took and pulled in the nose a little bit along the lines and the bridge, also created a higher cheekbone, and minimize the appearance of the chin and the forehead. Those are the most important things you do when you're contouring. You want to take something a lot darker than your skin tone, and you also want to blend it out very well. You want to take something darker than your skin tone, you want to blend it out very well to make your face less flat, and you want to put it in those areas. That's what it is. If it turns out that the darker contour sticks or anything that you're using to contour your face, if it's not dark enough, if it doesn't seem bold enough, then that's when you concentrate on the highlighting, blending it in, and then cutting it off so that it could be more noticeable. And I will show you that trick in a sec. Since hers is fairly noticeable, you still want to blend it in a little bit, but since hers is fairly noticeable, you won't really have a problem with that. But let's say you did. So pretend like this contour is a little too natural looking, like it doesn't look like it's a contour at all. It blends in with the skin. This is when you want to take in, I'm just blending it in a little bit more, but this is when you want to take and start to cut everything off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take and cut it off with one of my powders. I normally use like a banana powder, a Tasha powder. I blend it in very well, so it's fine, but you might want to take something a little bit darker. This is just for the sake of the video. You want to cut it off. So turn your face to the side a little bit. You see how if you cut it off, then it creates a new shape. It creates a higher cheekbone, and it also creates creates the illusion of a little bit more contour. So if you do something like that, if the contour is not dark enough, or if you can't find one that'll darken your skin, don't worry about it, because darker skin tones, you don't have to worry about contouring. Highlighting is where it is for you. So then you take it and cut it off and create the shape of the cheekbone as you would want it. And you're going to do the same to the other side and down the bridge of the nose. Here, you want to make sure you're doing this as evenly as possible so that the shape will show as much symmetry as possible. The next thing you want to do is you want to cut this off. You don't want to leave this on here for too long. I'm taking my more dense brush because, like I said, this is a lighter color. So I'm going to just blend this in a little bit more with the skin. Turn your face to the side a little bit. So notice how it's cut in a little bit. It creates a different shape. It's not too noticeable. You can go a little bit heavier or a little bit light, depending on how dramatic you really want the look. It's also safe to take a little bit of the powder, look up for me, and go right under the eyes. She has a chinked eye like mine, so I normally like to bring it up because of that, except she has a chinkier eye. So I like to bring it up and set it this way. It becomes a little bit more noticeable, and this is also the highlighting process. You can also use before you do these same spaces that I just used the powder for, look up. Before you use this powder on the same spaces that I highlighted on, you can also use a lighter foundation or a lighter concealer to highlight those areas. These are the areas that you want to target your highlight. And once you target your highlight, you want to make sure that those are the areas, those are the same areas also that you want to put your lighter concealer or foundation on. So when you're doing your face, keep that in mind. You want to put, I chose to do it a little more natural, but these are the same places. Here, down the bridge of the nose, here, here, and here. Those are the places that you want to concentrate with the highlight. So you would want to take a shade or two. Don't go any more than 2 shades lighter unless you're trying to be super dramatic. Don't take any more than 2 shades lighter of the lighter concealer to highlight your face. And so now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to go into a blush. So for the purpose of this video, I want to use a more natural blush. So I'm going to use the Saharan Blush Volume 2 from Juvia's Place. And I'm just going to use Lena, a lighter blush. It's just going to be a more natural. As a matter of fact, I think I'll use B just to give it a different look. Then you just take that, blend it in with the skin very nicely. Same way you did the contouring, and same places you're going to do the highlight. You want to take it up a little bit further than the contour though, just to make it a natural blush. Yeah, I'm definitely cutting that out of the video. Again, so this is a more natural look, nothing too dramatic. The final thing about the highlighting and contouring, and I'm just going to do like a natural eyeshadow to her, maybe some eyeliner after, but this is more about the natural contouring and highlighting for darker skin tones. So what I want to do is take a little bit of highlighter and just show you these areas before I do anything else. I'm just going to show you all the highlighted areas is where you're going to take and put your highlighter. Some people are junkies like I am, so they do want to do a lot, and some people want to do less. It's all about what you want. I would recommend building up to it. So with me, I know exactly what I want at the moment, but you still want to build up to what it is that you want. So if you want it to be less, I would start off with a little bit and be light handed on it. If I wanted it to be lessened, I didn't want too much, and then I would build on it. If you want it to be a lot, I would still recommend building on it so that this way you can know when to stop.
Put me up a drink and just watch how I flex. Party up with every bitch, go to the next. Watch me hit it 2 times, she call me next.
I tend to love doing darker skin tones because the highlight is always popping, especially if you get a nice gold tone. Now, if you're doing a simple, it doesn't matter what you're doing to the eyeshadow actually, but if you want to highlight the brow bone, you can go ahead and highlight it before you do the eyeshadow. So this is what concludes the highlighting and contouring look. And then I'll just go into eyeshadow for her and eyeliner, lashes, or anything like that.